Welcome to Jokakaka. I'm Jim.
I'm Sam.
And holy shit.
Yeah, about time we got chapter 83, and it was a fucking crazy motherfucking chapter.
So as Sam said, we were talking about chapter 83 of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure JoJolion, and holy shit, some crazy things happened.
Is the countdown to the harvest, I think?
Yeah, countdown to harvest.
Yes, to the harvest.
Sorry, to the harvest, whatever. Crazy.
Probably one of the chapters like I think I reread the most because so much happened. It's that chapter has just like so much. It
felt like it kept going on and on. I was like, did Araki accidentally post the rest of JoJolion? Because I was like, how much is gonna fucking happen?
It was
in
like
the chapter?
40 plus pages, so which is like pretty crazy. I feel compared to other chapters where they kind of flew by. But then again, last couple chapters were fights where there weren't much talking.
Yeah.
So
this one I was literally like. I was drinking in every word. I was going as slow as I could because I woke up this morning and then I saw your text. And I was so enjoying sleeping in, and I was like, you know, if I go on Twitter, I'm gonna be spoiled. So I need to just read JoJolion right now. And I was also very hyped for it.
Yeah, I don't go to bed till like very late, and like I checked because I checked it all day yesterday because I heard it was up, or like the Raw was up, and at 3 a.m. there it is, ready to go. So yeah, this chapter was fucking awesome.
So let's actually start talking about it.
Well, we first get the whole chapter art of...
The cover art was freaking gorgeous. It's probably one of my favorite ones so far. It's Gappy being surrounded and grabbed by all these hands.
All the stands. This is a chapter, like, whenever they do the coloring of this, I'm going to love to see
Oh my god, yeah. This chapter in particular, there's so many scenes that I was like, I can't wait to see this colored.
So the chapter starts, and it's basically our crew, Gappy, Pramp Fraser, and Yasho.
So they're in like a Lambo.
Yeah, that's his car. I'm pretty sure that's Planet Fraser's car.
Okay, I couldn't remember if that was.
I'm pretty sure this car they borrowed or they stole one of the cars from the Hishikata estate.
They're pretty wealthy. I guess it wouldn't be too surprising.
Wouldn't be surprised if they just stole a car.
But having a Lambo though. So
it's been a while since like going back to Port Tom. So I'm pretty sure they may have stolen that. Because they.
I wouldn't be surprised. So I love the beginning. It's just kind of like the chapter has a lot of narration, which is very like standard for JoJo.
I thought for a second there when it started, like it was going to go about like the whole like what the origins of the snake around the sword, like medical symbol. Like, I thought it was gonna go into that for some reason, but it didn't. Luckily,
yeah, not too much.
I thought that'd be a Rocky thing of just him going into like detail about
the symbol for fucking this hospital.
Yeah, so yeah, we get like basically the entire fact about the entire hospital, like how much staff members, like what it has in it, but it's just like the Planet Praiser describing the hospital instead. It's not not like just a general narrator, which I thought was like pretty interesting. Just like random plot drop about the hospital, which
it really just focuses. It's just focusing our attention at like how important the hospital is.
But this hospital has 3 restaurants and cafes, 2 convenience stores, a post office, a library, and a rehab gym. Like a rehab gym, I understand, but a post office and a library.
The post office is really weird. Maybe I don't know.
Understand
maybe
a mail room because you have this like they probably have a lot, but a post office is a little much. Even a library is like.
This could be like chalked up to like Japanese efficiency, like how they just need to have everything as efficient as possible.
And I've got a hot spring and a massage parlor because
Awesome. So what I really love this really felt like kind of a capping off of the last year essentially of JoJo, which had consisted actually even before that of the Urban Gorilla fight, the Port Tom and Wu Tomaki, and we found out that those were like 3 of the 4 main doctors.
Yeah, where we had the like the sale crew or like the marketers. Yeah, we have the doctors now, and this is like this group. It's kind of like in part 5, it's like the pet. They had the Squadra, and then basically the right hand man to the boss, and these are the equivalent of the right hand man to the boss guys.
That's where it's kind of like this chapter does a lot to like kind of nudge us towards the idea of like who is this mysterious 4th hospital doctor who had access, because the reason why is like they found all the doctors who had access to the Jokakaka room,
and they're like in their picture, like ID picture, and we have Wu, we have his name is like Ryo Shimosato. He's like what Urban Gorilla,
which it took me a second to realize because I was like, okay, is this guy gonna like show up later? And then I saw like they were like, oh yeah, this was Urban Gorilla, and I was like, I was like shocked.
It had the picture of him like with the mask on.
I was fucking loving it. I was like, this goober is Urban Gorilla, the guy who was like shirtless, wearing like Mad Max gear.
And then also our favorite doctor of it's so funny. I think he's like the doctor for.
I can't believe infertility. I cannot believe that he's actually a doctor.
He goes in there himself,
and he's like 58 years old.
Yeah, he goes.
Poor Tom is so fucking old. Hilarious.
This ladies' man, he just crawls right into the womb itself and
does that.
Checks it out himself. And then we have like there's no name for and there's like the fourth doctor in charge. There's no name, no picture, and he's like I think he's at 82. I think his age was
89 years old.
89, which people actually like. I think someone put it back. Like put some close like to like the birth year of Joseph Joestar would be in like that family tree when they had it.
Yeah, but then again,
he's old, but he's probably like the one person maybe connected to like could be closer connected to the past.
To SBR maybe even. But what's his face? Mamazuku said that these are rock people anyway.
Yeah.
So
aging
doesn't really.
So he's probably hiding in the shadows as like saying he's this, but they hibernate and they don't really age or So which is interesting, to say the least. But some people also think he might be the baby from that one chapter forever ago that I watched up on the beach.
That's very interesting. I didn't even think of that connection, and I could see it coming back, but. I don't know. I think this is a false flag. I really think that this doctor thing is like totally a red herring. Jobin is like the dude. Jobin and Hato or Kato, the mom.
Yeah, Kaito. Kaito, I think. And I feel Jobin is more what Diego was at the end of part 7, and not like the funny.
But Diego was like. The final boss.
He was. I think Jobin will be more like him instead of like Funny, who's considered like the main villain.
Mm-hmm. We'll see. I feel like there's kind of like a meme about focusing on main villains right now.
Yeah,
and I'm trying to get away from it a little bit because I think it is kind of like a meme.
But. Yeah, I feel like it's to get the idea of part 8. Once you reveal if Jobin is like the main villain, that it will probably be like the thought of the main villain for part 8 will probably change.
Mm-hmm. So basically, what happens is that they're kind of discussing like their next like sort of step, and it's really interesting to me how Mamazuku is like he's very I don't know, I don't trust him. I think he's bad. I think he might be a bad guy. The Planet Praiser, Mamazuku. I think he might be a bad guy. He seems very resistant to believing Yasuo at all. He's trying to like intentionally separate Josuke and Yasuo. He doesn't believe in Yasuo's abilities. And he calls Yasuo out for the whole hair ornament story. And I mean, maybe he's not a bad guy, but he's not nice. And he's leading them. It's strange to me that Yasuo is like, the branch is at the estate. Like, let's check this right now. And they're like, actually, no.
They literally revealed to me that they don't have the branch. Like,
like I don't see why just going to the branch and like investigating would be so bad. Like obviously they need they have this sort of fourth doctor they should be looking for, but I don't know.
I just think Gabby just like looks onwards and completely silent. But they basically say that like one way or another, we know Jobin is actually it's gonna end up going to Jobin to approach him, but we need to find like this last doctor for the branch. Basically, what he wants to do. He wants to find this doctor,
Which I guess, like, I can see that. It does make sense, but I sympathize with Yasuo here, because, like, it feels almost like she is, like, the reader surrogate, kind of, where it's, like, we are empathizing with Yasuo, because she's, like, clearly it's Jobin. Like, we need to confront him. And then the other character's like, no, the world is bigger than that. Like, we have to do other things.
Gabby's kind of stuck in the middle, like, who to go, the expert of like this branch and fruit to save Holly, or the person that he's been there since day one.
And it's weird to me. Gabby seems to just kind of be blindly following Planet Praiser. Like, he has such little empathy as a character trait. I think that's really important that he has almost no empathy, and he doesn't really care that Yasuo is distressed here. And then we have Mr. Toru slipping in the DMs, sliding the DMs, which is fucking hilarious.
But also the fact that they had this fight, but they get in the car and they had the fight, then they just walk out of the car and had the fight, and then
it's just like they gotta pose. Like JoJo characters gotta pose.
It's for this Lamborghini.
Araki clearly is liking his car poses in this this part. He did it with Paisley Park,
but also,
it's his face. Speed King was posing in a car too.
I love that. But also, like before, like the ex-boyfriend shows up, she like Josuke backed me up, and he just like looks down and says like I'm happy like you got out, you and her what's it called Mitsuba got out fine, but I think we have to go find this doctor. If he knows anything, he probably knows the most.
Yeah, I don't know. I think this is like.
He was really thinking about. You can really see him thinking about this entire thing. Him being quiet.
Yeah, Gappy he's one of those like Giorno sort of characters where there's a lot under the surface.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and when you just look at his actions, you're like, wow, he can be really brutal. But you can tell that he really is like contemplating.
Yeah.
His choice here.
They really show him like a lot of facial like reads from him in this chapter.
Character. Same with Yasuo. There's a gorgeous close up on Yasuo.
She's like looking like really sad when he's like doesn't believe her.
Yeah, right before Toru slides in.
But I do. If he just says like even if Jobin is the guy who has the thing, it's gonna lead to him anyway. So like he's trying to say like you're probably right, but like we have to like do everything for it, and Jobin's going to happen eventually.
Yeah, and like a sense of thoroughness, I get it, but in a sense of like there's a ticking time clock, like.
And the fact that they just left without her.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. That was like the clincher for me when they just kind of were just like, hey, yeah, whatever. Like,
I mean, did they only have 2 seats, or could they squeeze her in?
Yeah, it was a tight Lambo. You only fit so many people in.
I think it's only a 2-seater, so. But
it also seemed like she was kind of like she was rejected by them, so she was kind of rejecting them. Like she kind of like started to go away.
Yeah.
Like, so I think it was kind of like a mutual, like, fuck you.
But at the end, before they leave, they let's go find a picture of this doctor's face. And, like, you have the girl that could probably find it the best out of anyone.
Oh, fuck. I didn't even think about that.
She is literally, like, the information finder, the man in the seat, like...
Yeah. The man behind the computer.
Yeah. She has, like, the best option to do that. Like, as long as they get a name or something.
And then again, though, like, she might not have cooperated. Which I guess, this is kind of speculation, but... Whatever, we're just kind of dwelling on this. So yeah, then we have this really interesting scene where Yasuho is sort of showing that she's kind of like sliding back into this relationship with, like, sort of subconsciously with her ex-boyfriend.
Yeah, this part was really like, like you know, like thank you for helping us back there and everything. And, you know, like find a little about he's a med student and
so yeah, he like was concerned about helping her. Like he wasn't. He even though he knew that this guy, okay, maybe he's like a boyfriend, he still is concerned about her, and like he's got a very like sly sort of demure attitude, which I think is really interesting. Makes him a really fun character, even though we've only seen him for like a chapter and a half or a quarter, maybe.
Yeah, they also like asked if her and Gappy are going out, and says, no, we're not. With like the heartbreak of a million of like shippers of Gappy and Yasho. Like,
yeah, but no, like it's. I think this is like a really good character move. Like. It makes sense why she's feeling this way. I think this is a really cool turn, especially nearing the end of the part too, or at least we're thinking it's near the end of the part. Having this really sort of like downswing in the relationship is interesting, and yeah, I like the inner turmoil. One thing I thought about when I was reading it earlier is Yasuho feels like a shoujo heroine in this. Like she really gets like very contemplative, and like people are kind of shitting on her, and she's like biting her finger. It's, I don't know, made me think of like kind of shoujo like romance stories.
But then he does the most lewdest thing in anime and in Japanese culture, is like doing the hand touch and hand holding.
Yeah.
Which he always talks about, like how her hand always goes above his whenever they go for holding hands.
Yeah. So okay, this like putting our tinfoil hats on. They make such a like note on this. Like it's hard not to ignore it.
They zoom in on the hand, and his face is incredibly detailed when he's like close in on her.
So I think with her putting her hand above, it's supposed to be kind of like a control thing. Maybe. Because her stand is kind of about like surveillance and control too. Like, I don't know, this is kind of like a weird, this is the thing, like, it's hard to talk about this while it's coming out. I'm sure when this is over, our depiction of Yasuho will be very different. Like especially her behavior towards this new character shows a lot about her. Yeah. And but also like she pulls her hands away really quick. But so
basically, she's like, "Okay, get your phone fixed. I'll see you later." But it cuts back to the planet appraiser in the car, like looking at his rearview mirror and sees like him and her talking, and just basically like this guy came from out of nowhere at a really important time. There's something up with him, like, and just like.
He definitely is a person of interest, and they acknowledge it.
He did the thing like he's with Job, and like he's up. This guy is suspicious. He came out like this important time. He did help us, but there's a weird reason why it happened now.
Yeah,
this character.
Also, I do think it's really interesting. As I said, how Gappy has like a lot of like hidden character traits where Planet Appraiser kind of makes a glib remark about like, oh, so you guys both scored with Yasso, and he really seems to take offense to it.
Yeah,
like he actually is like not hurt by it, but he's really like angry that he would make that insinuation.
Yeah, that's the face of like anger. Like I don't know, you don't see Gappy get like upset by a person like that.
It's so Gappy clearly does care about Yasso, and he's really torn up by this, but he doesn't really show it.
I just love him immediately going, "This is important."
Yeah. So okay, this scene is so interesting and strange. So suddenly after that scene, so we have these characters that are kind of on different paths, I guess you could say. Then we get a flash forward to 7 days in the future.
It doesn't. Yeah, well, we won't know.
It doesn't say that initially, but so what happens here is there's a flash forward to 7 days in the future. We have some. So later on, when I reread it, it was a lot more clear. We have what's her name, Kato. Hato. We have the daughter of the Higashikatas reading like a magazine. Run. Yeah, she's reading SBR magazine.
It's herself on it.
And we have Tsurugi. Tsurugi. I just played Danganronpa 3.
You're good.
Tsurugi is sitting right next to her, kind of like in a very close pose. And then we see a close-up of her ear, and there's like a tongue on it, and it starts like licking her ear. And then
in full little.
Yeah, so then there's like this weird scene. This is funny because it almost has like the formula of a stand fight where there's like weird stuff happening and then there's like a climax, but there's no fight here.
When I first read that, I thought like, are they being attacked by like this mysterious guy we were like thinking about? And then like, oh no, Joshi's like, he's looking sipping tea. Maybe he's actually not him this time, but it fucking was.
Joshi's sipping tea. So yeah, so we have this situation which when you... Oh, so then there's a tongue on the floor, and it has Nut King Call's, like... Screw on it. And Tsurugi, like, steps on it.
He looks like in the head, like he's, like, not paying attention.
Yeah, it looks like he's trying not to pay attention. He steps on it, which hurts Joshu, which is... Like, that's just an action. Okay, so what we end up finding out happens here is Tsurugi is the person who uses the tongue of Joshu to tickle her ear. Because, did you get that?
No, I didn't.
Because look at the position Tsurugi's in.
Yeah.
Tsurugi is right next to her. So Tsurugi is the one that would have been holding Nut King Call, tickling her ear.
It is interesting.
Then Tsurugi would have dropped it on the floor, and then that's why I think it made such an obvious look away.
Do you think he used to stand so no one would pay attention to him, and then once everyone was fighting, he like made himself
visible? He was told to go get Grandpa.
Yeah.
So
I think he revealed himself there. Like maybe he was just like off to the side. They didn't like notice him, or I don't know.
That's why this scene is so strange to me. And of course, we find out later that this is like 7 days into the future, so we don't know any of the context for this. So there might be so much more below the surface. But and then just I'm gonna say it now. Like what we sort of glean to now, I feel like Tsurugi, God damn it, it's gonna be really hard not to do. Tsurugi has the power to manipulate other people's stands.
Okay.
That's my sort of like shot in the dark.
His evolved stand?
Yeah, I think...
It does, because it goes into this feel about stand abilities and like about how they can change too.
Alright, so here is... I'm gonna fucking launch the second nuke on you in a second. So here, the big thing is that the stand is being manipulated and Joshu is not aware that his stand is being manipulated. Because... he would fucking know if his tongue was out, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then I'm going to flash forward to the very end of the chapter. So we have Mitsuba picking Tsurugi up from school. There's a whole thing where Tsurugi was being intimidated by children, or being made fun of by children about her grandfather, or whatever, her grandmother killing a child, and it was actually her dad, or his dad. Jeez, it's going to be hard to do too. And then we have a kid get crushed between two gates. So a child was killed with force. It said there's no way that someone could have closed the gates that hard. But this actually just came to me right now, and I feel like a genius. Samugi was manipulating Awaken 3 Leaves to put 2 leaves onto the fence and crush the girl to cause both of the fences to close on the girl.
Did he know his mom has a stand like that though?
Wait.
I don't think he did. Because at this point, her stand only just came out.
We don't know that. We don't know that Awaken 3 Leaves.
And then again, I don't think Jobin cares about his wife enough to really learn about her, tell Tsurugi about his mom's stand.
I don't know. It's his mom. Like, Tsurugi's his mom, or Mitsuba's Tsurugi's mom. Like, they obviously spent a lot of time together. We don't know that Awaken 3 Leaves spawned or just awakened then. It might have, but it wasn't made explicitly clear. And so this is still. So that would have been like, the problem is like, how would Tsurugi have so quickly learned how to evolve the ability? The other tell that I think Tsurugi has evolved his stand is that we see the imagery of a frog jumping twice, and the first time we see it, it's her, it's a piece of paper, and the second time it is a physical frog.
Maybe you can make origami and come to life or something too. I don't know. Could be like a Giorno kind of thing.
Yeah, I was thinking that as well. But okay, so that's my crazy tinfoil hat theory that Tsurugi is now able to manipulate people's stands, similar to how Wu Tomaki could. Yeah. Because I thought that was such an interesting idea that we'd never really seen before, and now it'd be cool to see that natural extension of that.
So, but occasionally there are changes in the heart. The heart, along with the stand ability, feels like fatigue and age as time goes on. Sometimes when one accidentally steps in the wrong place, the thing something that one had meant to keep shut deep inside them will boil over, or like lava from a volcano. A stand is a form of energy. When that happens, no matter how desperately you try to stop it, you won't be able to. You won't be able to control it. So maybe it's like until it stops at a destination. So maybe he also so this is like a non-intentional stand he has too. Or it could be something he's not really.
That's really likely.
Where it's these people he wants to get at, but it's just doing it. Yeah. I don't know. I'm pretty sure there were stands that were like that, if I can remember correctly. That were
well, Poco Loco isn't Poco Loco? Is that what it's called?
It was called Heya.
Heya. Was Poco Loco the guy, or am I just thinking?
Poco Loco was the guy.
Okay, so yeah, Heya was a totally unintentional, uncontrolling stand. You could even say Holly Joestar.
Yeah, a Cheap Trick was one you couldn't control, and stuff like that, where it's just doing stuff. It's reacting to him. He's not intentionally, but he's not reacting very well to it. So I think something had to happen to him that Jobin did that makes him emotionless like this. I know he did something he screwed up things, but when he did use to stand on Gappy and Yasho, when that whole chapter happened.
Oh yeah, he took Yasuo's memory away.
Yeah.
He gave her an aneurysm, which thankfully didn't kill her, but strategically...
Even Tsurugi also messed with Gappy and Yasha when he did his stand on, remember, he did make everyone look the same? Yeah, him and her dad both fucked with them, but, still, Tsurugi, I don't think was there to, act this emotionless.
Yeah, Tsurugi has, a very... I think you said earlier, is a huge heel turn, where... So this whole scene with the little narration you just read is so when I was reading it, I was like, shit. And when they showed the family picture, I was like, fuck. I'm also, shit is hitting the fan hard.
He also has his stand on his head, a clip, but I always feel that could just be his stand on someone to be
ooh, I think
because that was my thing, because of the whole thing at the children thing, maybe he used it on Jobin to make it look like him. So Jobin was the one who ignited the gate, and that shot, cause it mentioned his mother, and that a tick for him. Yeah. Because I don't think why he would care about his grandmother, because no one really knows her other than Norisuke and Jobin. So I'm thinking maybe he just made a thing. That's why he wasn't really talking very much.
Yeah, that's really interesting.
That was my thing, but kind of weird things can happen in JoJo. But
that's a really good, I like that theory a lot, because that would explain why he suddenly has his stand in his hair, which I don't remember him having before.
Yeah, same.
Maybe he did. I don't recall if he did.
But
so yeah, basically the thing we haven't really talked about is we see Samugi go upstairs and we see fucking
in a body bag.
Norisuke is fucking dead. He's fucking dead. And the art in this sequence is fucking gorgeous.
I love the drag noise.
Yeah, we get a couple of the classic menacings.
Another thing I want to notice, though, like out of the bag, though, pops out his stand. If you notice that.
Yeah.
Which I'm not sure. Like maybe he used to stand on that. Like this might be actually this is actually him, but like here. But like this, like maybe he's making the stand look like Norisuke for some reason. And maybe it's someone else, and this is just like a red herring or like like a misdirect.
Yeah,
because like
that would be interesting. Because I know a lot of people were speculating that Norisuke would die.
Yeah,
he was one of those characters that had a lot of death flags.
Yeah,
but
especially
the absence of Jobin and the mom here is like.
I don't know. I think like with the stand coming out like out of the body bag, it's someone else, and this is like why I don't know. It's either gonna be Jobin or it's gonna be Kaito. I don't. It's gonna be. I don't think it's gonna be Norisuke for some reason because of that stand coming out of it.
We've got like a fucking the situation when they first reveal Funny's power when like the fucking mindfuck chapter where we see Johnny die and we see Gyro or was this Gyro die? We see like. Wikapopo die. We see like the same scene happen like several times.
Different characters.
Yeah, so
and then
we're gonna get like another mindfuck one where it's characters who aren't actually that character.
And he's dragging the body, but like 13 minutes until the harvest. So that's also a very interesting point where this one took place.
Oh shit! So it's going to harvest soon. In the past, there was a character who was dead who was given a Rokakaka, the new Rokakaka or whatever. So, even if he is dead here, he still could be fused with someone.
We never know.
See another fusion.
Yeah, King Nothing with something. Who knows? But also, like, the maid's nowhere to be seen in the.
That was fucking usual.
I know. Everybody wants her to be.
It would be hilarious if they just revealed she died off screen. Like,
to go now. My planet needs me. So yeah. So then it goes. Here are the events that happened 7 days prior. So now we're at 7 days, 1 hour, and 3 minutes. Like, and then we go to the school, which I do love Mitsuba, like, arriving on it, like, yes, this is the new me, I'm not the pageant queen anymore, please ignore anything that looks weird on me.
Yeah, Mitsuba's character is very strange. I know we've only known her for, like, 5 chapters, also, but she's really weird.
She's weird. Her nose is, like, the weird, like, I know she doesn't supposed to have a nose, but, it's the weirdest, like, look to it. I still think they should have had like a weird like, fashion thing like on her face or something like that.
It's almost worse than not having a nose.
They should have had her sunglasses have like a fake prosthetic nose just like on top of it, or like something like that where like it wouldn't be nearly as bad.
Hold on one sec. I just want to check something.
Give me a badass like face mask or something. I don't know. That'd be really cool. But I don't know. I do love her. I like her like personality for the most part when she go in there. Like it's former Miss Cherry has been left in the past. Like not like she says that a lot.
Okay, so one thing I just noticed that I want to clarify, just for continuity's sake, when they're having their little confrontation at the hospital, when it's when the whole fight that just happened in the last chapters, the Planet Praiser said that was the Rokaka will grow in just over 10 days. So we can speculate that something happened within 3 days. Between this, like we haven't seen what happened in 3 days, so
you assume there's them just looking for the picture or like a name for the whoever the mysterious doctor is,
and that makes it like almost 4 days or so that we've seen Tsurugi. Yeah. So yeah, I feel like we're still missing out on some really key info.
So yeah, I guess these are like the scouts that we. Remember the scouts that Joby was a part of? Like this is like when he was a kid. Mm-hmm. It seems like this is like them. Like, that Tsurugi's part of now. Yes. And, you find out that, like, Tsurugi, he's about, like, being bullied and everything like that.
And Tsurugi says nothing, which you mentioned earlier. Tsurugi says nothing to the bullies. Yeah. Except, it seems to activate a stand.
So, yeah, but, like, if this is Jobin, like, I think like, my whole theory about, like, it could be just, like, Paper Moon King, I think it's called. Working his magic where he's quiet, but like these
Paper Moon King is
where like these are also like the scouts that could just trigger him or like the mom, like so, like I don't think Tsurugi would care that much unless he had these in the 3 days like met his grandmother and like had like entire thing with her. But like
it's so funny, I didn't even think about that being Jobin, and the look that Tsurugi gives feels so similar to like a Jobin like coldness, like the solemn look that he has.
And Tsurugi has what's it called? His stand, because like, it just made like a plane, like that like kind of plain character like look to everyone, but then he could do all the branches look the same, and
he could affect things. He learned a lot.
He can choose what he wants everything to look like, which I'm assuming what he can do now. So yeah, that's my crazy theory.
Okay. Also, another little point for your it's actually Jobin theory. Tsurugi's actually Jobin. Tsurugi does not make any reference to the fact that his mom's nose is like fucking weird. Oh wait, no, actually they might have seen. They technically there's 3 days that we did account for, so they might have. Never mind.
I don't know. Now I'm looking. I was looking at that, and it said like no, he still didn't say anything.
But then again, like
he looks at her, but he didn't do anything special. He just he looks like bored.
This is also like 3 days or like let's say like 4 to 3 days after the hospital thing happened. So it's possible that he would have seen her already.
Yeah,
that these parents are commenting on it because
that, or he's on a camping trip and he just got back from a camping trip.
Yeah, we did see him at the hospital or at the whatever.
But I do appreciate them bringing back like the Jobin, like the origin with like the mom killing the kid that was probably never found. Even had a picture of her to remind everyone.
Yeah, so that's definitely important.
These ugly children, these ugly little girls. Like I don't remember Araki ever making like ugly little girl children. Usually discussing little like.
It's really funny because I think some of the kids look really good. I think there's one little girl that looks really good, and I'm like, damn, Araki's gotten good at doing one little kid per chapter.
There's like the one that's like missing teeth, like the main one, and like the two ugly like backup friends.
They don't look good at all. They look like small adults.
They are exactly the backup children that get like beat up by like a child Joestar.
Also, some of the moms here I thought looked really gorgeous. Like not in like a way that like, oh my god, they're my wife. I think that Araki just is putting a lot of effort into designing these background characters. I appreciate it
the female camp leader or whatever I think she was like.
Oh, I loved her. She was waifu status.
Also, like the fact like she gets threatened to fire her by Mitsuba, which I thought was hilarious.
Yeah, Mitsuba was she came off very stern, and that was one of those things I was like, what side is she going to fall on?
She's very protective of her child. That's what she wants. She wants to be a better mom. Yeah. So
that does make sense.
She's on the side of her child, I'm pretty sure.
All right, so then we've got the sort of big event,
the frog thing, and this flushes like the girl into the water.
Oh, I'm already at like the fucking.
But I'm gonna say that that happened, and then the Mitsuba threatened to fire the woman. She didn't want her family or the Hishikata family involved in like any with the mom. So like she doesn't want any part of her. So that's where she I think she'll be in the opposite of her. Maybe we'll have grandmother versus mother. Eventually,
that'd be interesting. I didn't even think. I just had assumed that she was going to be the bad guy here.
I don't know. She wasn't with the family dinner thing, and they all live in the same house. So you gotta remember that, and that's like little minutes before the harvest.
Yeah,
and we don't even know where the branch is even there because Jobin's not there either.
Nor Gappy, nor anyone.
Yeah.
We just only know that
not there.
It's the main kids.
Like, I don't know.
And main kids minus Jobin.
But yeah, so they usually call like, oh, teacher, we need an ambulance now. The child got caught in the gate. But it goes by a name, but you basically assume that it's like the girl with like the missing teeth that was like really mean.
Mina-chan.
And like, cause...
Alright, so this is the one detail that it really stuck out to me for some reason. And I feel like it's kind of relevant based on the past few chapters. So, when the little girl gets crushed between the fences, someone remarks, her underwear is stained red. So, menstruation has been kind of a theme in the past few chapters of JoJo. Menstruation and childbirth. I don't know how it's relevant here, and it's kind of disgusting, and I don't really want to talk about it, but I feel like it's worth mentioning.
But I don't know.
It's such a weird detail to throw in there. That's all I'm saying. It's one of those things.
It is.
For a character to comment on that, I feel like it's gotta be relevant.
Someone's new stand is just like can make someone just bleed out of any like orifice of their body.
I feel like we had a stand like that before. No, I guess not. That'd be a great stand though.
I don't know.
Called Raining Blood. There we go.
Yeah. But yeah, so their child gets crushed. But I feel like because like Tsurugi had like the revenge was like knocking her in the water with the frog, but like then she gets like shut in the gate, which people said you said it was him using Mitsuba's stand.
That's my fan.
I think if it's Jobin, he's speaking to ignite the gate, or if Jobin's watching or maybe nearby, he did it as revenge because like he heard and get triggered by the mother.
Just like physically, I don't know how Speed King's stand would work here.
I don't know.
We don't really know.
No one really knows
how Speed King's stand apparently can like change temperature in like a very precise way. I don't see how that would slam fences.
A stand could also, like depending on the stand's strength, can probably slam it itself, and is a humanoid design. So.
Yeah, he does have punching ghost.
So it would just look like the gate shut itself. But yeah, the child basically someone to see what happened because it couldn't be done by like a child or anything. But the girls point at Tsurugi and says the kid made the gate move, which does not make sense because kid couldn't physically do that to a child.
Yeah.
And then so that's how the chapter ends. Is just Tsurugi being pointed out as the person that closed the gate on her.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
And then the worst twist in the chapter is that there's a hiatus next month, so we don't get new JoJo until April.
March.
Oh, sorry, March. It says the
April issue. Yeah.
Yeah. How Jump or whatever. It's not Jump. It's Ultra Jump actually. How Ultra Jump works, it's like they always list the next. I think it's at most publications they list the next month for that issue.
So. Yeah, so hell of a chapter.
Overall, this was such a great chapter. This is actually, our conversation was like great too, guys. I feel like I made so many revelations just talking it over.
And I had one theory I want to talk about, I guess I wanted to save, I guess. So, it's more so with the whole Gappy stuff in earlier, where, so they had the doctor, he's mysterious, people putting a lot of tie-ins to this is how Diablo was since he was so hidden, and that maybe, I think this doctor specialized on the fusion part of the fruit, and he experimented on it with himself since he was old, and I think he did a weird fusion with the ex-boyfriend, and it's like the Diablo thing where he can like Endopia, where he can like switch between it, but he's not in complete control, or maybe he can switch it, but the other guy doesn't know.
Yeah,
that's why he helped them. So he's just like kind of hidden, and that's why there's like no picture of him. I think it's gonna be like that kind of thing with him.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing with that is that the Planet Appraiser said like he did help us.
Yeah,
he did intentionally lead us to a situation that killed Wu.
So I'm thinking it's like a weird different kind of fusion, because I think they're going to get a little bit more into like the fusion, or like how the fusion worked with the fruit, and I think this doctor did a little bit of it to make like this weird like dual personality kind of thing.
Yeah,
that he's able to like actually do something, cause if he's because he's not going to be like an 89-year-old man fighting, but he's still going to be like this weird like.
Well, he could just be like a young dude. I think
or just weird like
the first rock human that we saw, the architect guy, I think he was really old too, but he looked like he was prime.
True.
The rock humans don't age. That's the
I think there'd be some kind of like weird like Diablo kind of like reference where he's just like a weird split person.
Yeah,
instead of a fused person, he's just like that split person, but he can control like the other guy doesn't know about it though.
That'd be interesting.
And that's why he acts so weird. And showing up just when they show up, like I don't know, it's just kind of weird. That's my theory about that. That's the only, because we talked about everything else basically.
Yeah, there was one other thing I wanted to say. I forget.
You remember? You have any other theories or anything? I
thought I had a theory. I just wanted to say how like this is so fucking crazy. Like all the questions that are risen from that little flash forward have me like. God damn.
I told you, a lot of people think this is like this is the end game, but we still have a long way to go because this is like...
How much is going to happen in 7 days?
This is funny. I know, exactly. This is funny stepping on the train. We have a long way to go. Do you not remember how many chapters like the D4C was and Love
Wasn't
Train?
Wasn't it like 8?
It was like so many parts. It was like so many D4C parts in that.
D4C was, I remember, being pretty long.
It's like 15
and
parts.
And then like Funny died and there was like 10 chapters. So
it's still 10 chapters.
Like a year.
And there was like the Love Train or the Disco Train.
Love Train. Chocolate Disco was the guy that had the weird stand. I feel like he was just like, get out of here. Like, get out of the way. Give me the final boss.
Chocolate Disco wasn't the rain guy, was he?
No, Chocolate Disco was the guy that had like the keyboard on his arm and he could like, right. It created like a grid on the ground.
That's right, I forgot about the grid.
It's such a fucking like video game power. Like,
it's such a grid. I forgot about that stand. It's like probably one of the most forgettable ones in part 6.
It really is. The only reason I remember it is because it's so stupid and like dumb and how much I was like, get this stupid character away. I need to know what Funny Valentine is doing right now.
So what do you think the next chapter will be about? Do you think it's still going to linger? Or do you think because these chapters are going to be skipping around a lot?
Oh, if it skips around, it's going to like... I feel like that's going to be worse for my...
It's going to be like 24 where it has like the days thing, but like just jumps around to all these pictures of like what everyone's doing in the groups.
That'd be interesting. I don't know what 24 is anything about, but sure. I want to see Yasuho. I want to see what Yasuho is going to be doing. I feel like she's at like a really pivotal moment right now.
She still hasn't found her freaking hair clip that she was trying to go back originally for.
And she didn't even get treatment for her cramps.
Cramps.
I would just say take like a like an aspirin, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know how these like Iraqi like medical treatments work.
So yeah, and I think the next chapter is going to be Gappy. I feel like we were kind of teased with Tsurugi. We're not going to get Tsurugi stuff for a bit.
I think they'll go home. Maybe the same thing to show like Tsurugi and his mom going home, like, or maybe in a car ride talking about what happened.
If the next few chapters are like this, where it's like half and half, like we get both stories, I'll be like super for it. Mm-hmm. I'm so happy Tsurugi's back though, because Tsurugi was like kind of a non-character for a very long time. We
mentioned that like during the Poor Tom thing, where like Tsurugi is going to be the deciding factor in like this whole end part. I'm seeing we'd be right about that, right?
Yeah.
Very vital scene.
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, we said that, like how, I feel like Tsurugi's might be like a figure that jumps on either Josuke's side or Jobin's. It's like, damn, things have like gotten way more heated than I ever thought they would.
Yeah, especially like he was the focus of almost every part of the chapter, other than like once you went back to the Hichikata family. And
yeah, I can't wait to reread JoJolion.
Yeah.
And just really get context for all the past year and a half that I've been reading along with.
Yeah. So, very good chapter. Probably like the chapter made a lot to talk about, and I love these kind of chapters where we can just...
I've been saying it recently, but JoJolion is like the best that it's been. Like currently, it's like the peak, I think.
Yeah, I think we talked about it. We might actually then next month we also can do like our year of JoJolion, since it could be a hiatus. We can always talk about like how 2018 was from Poor Tom to the hospital.
It's a little late though. I feel like we could do that next year, but
yeah, who knows?
I like the idea.
We gotta figure something out.
Diesel episode. I mean, there's always the Rohan ones too.
Yeah, we'll figure something out for February. We have a lot of options to fill in for hiatus, but overall, I'm excited. 2019 is like shaping up to be probably one of the best years for JoJolion.
I know, I'm so excited.
It's not going to be the end. It's probably going to end at the end of
probably 2022. Yeah,
2020.
I'm not even joking. I'm thinking 2022.
We'll see.
If we're lucky.
If we're lucky. Who knows? Then part 9 could happen.
Because, yeah. That'd be fucking crazy. I can't even fathom being around for a new part being made.
We'll find out.
That's fucking crazy.
I can't wait on the tinfoil conspiracies of what part 9 could possibly be. So
another reboot.
Can you imagine like no one would have guessed what part 8 would be about after part 7?
Yeah.
Can you imagine just going on like a guy waking up at the ground with 4 balls, split eyes?
Yeah. Alright, one last thing I'll say is like Yasuo, you just reminded me, like Yasuo is like the first character we see. Like she's so pivotal to the story that I feel like she's gonna have like real fucking shit.
Been there since day 1.
Yeah. Whereas a lot of characters have kind of waned and waxed.
I don't know. We saw those wild card characters. You know, Kaito, that girl who has Love Deluxe that we only saw like
Carrera.
Yeah,
a character that I will mention in every episode just so I don't forget her name.
Yeah, we had the maid still there.
Mijimura. I'll never remember her name.
Yeah, there's so many people that are still there, but like are not really. Even if most of the Hishikata family has become like irrelevant for the most part.
Yeah.
Like Joshu is the most relevant member of that family, not including Jobin. Like, and
it's so funny. It's so funny to say that, but you're right.
Like,
he's the only character that really got like any sort of spotlight.
He got his own chapter.
That was a 2-parter too.
He got himself an
How
own
fucking
arc.
pissed would you be if Joshu got a 2-parter right now? Like I would fucking hate it. I'll be so angry.
He'd be like a shitlord to like some like poor man.
He never his tongue places.
He never learned the lesson. Like I don't know.
All right. Well, we should wrap it up. I'm trying, guys. I'm trying not to make these episodes too long, and I'm looking at it right now. It's going to be like 45 minutes.
For any chapter to be 45 minutes, this is the one. Because
a
lot happened. There were 3 main things that happened.
That's true. And I do want to ask the listeners out there, do you prefer these to be shorter or longer? I feel like generally with podcasts, it's best to kind of get in and get out as quick as possible. Shoot around like 25 minutes, but this one, I just had so much to say. I know Sam had a lot to say.
This is a bulk of... This is a really bulk chapter. So I think
right after an arc ended, so we've got all this new stuff being set up.
This is the first one of the year. It has to kind of go up, start out with a bang, and this is like the like end game. Like I said before, it's probably like the start of like the end game. So we have like a 7-day countdown, which if you have a countdown, you have to be like that is your countdown to the end, or like close to the end.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I think if these episodes should go longer, especially for these plot explanation.
Yeah.
Like chapters. So.
I feel you.
I don't know. I mean, the fight one are usually shorter anyway. So
yeah.
All right. Anything else you want to talk about, or anything that popped in your head? Or
no. I just love JoJo, and thank you so much for listening. I really appreciate all the listeners we have, all the subscribers.
Yes.
Please comment. Tell us what you think our theories are. Tell me how stupid you think my theories are.
And if you have a
poke all the holes in my theories.
Yeah. If you have a theory that we did not say, or you want to, if you believe as well, or you have more evidence of, then go ahead and write that down below. If you haven't subscribed already, please.
Yeah, like, comment, subscribe. Great. I just gotta plug fucking call to actions.
Yeah, and we'll won't have another chapter next month, but we'll have something there.
Yeah.
But instead, keep that eye out. We have our part 5, it's like part 5 in parts.
Part 5 in parts, where we talk about the part 5 anime by arc.
Yeah, which or maybe one next week if the Grateful Dead actually ends. Who knows?
I think it might. It's probably, yeah. It's so fucking good.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I love it. I'll talk about it later, but... Alright, this is going too long.
But yeah.
Thank you so much for listening. Yes, I'm Jim.
I'm Sam.
And have a great night.
Yes.